It's cold, isn't it? That's why I told you to stay in the boat. You want to come back in now? Come on. Come on. Beauty, come. Get in the boat. Right here. Yes, yes. Good dog. Okay, now let's stay in the boat because the water's really cold, okay? Trust me, I speak from experience. Hey folks, how are you? Joe here. I got Beauty with me. There's a reason for that, and if you want to know why, stay tuned. We're at the Creekside camp. This is the first time I've been here in 6-7 months. So we're gonna spend the day out, see if we can catch a couple brook trout, maybe have a fire, work on the camp, and I'll talk to you a little bit. It's this way. Go. There she is. Standing strong. A lot of people had their doubts. A lot of people had their doubts in the comments. I get it. It's not traditional. And it looks like not the nicest thing. But it's big and it's up off the ground and it's protected. That's all I want. Huh. Right on cue. There's Joe's plane. Hey, good girl. Don't even remember putting that there. The tarps hold up fine, although I felt it and it feels like the waxiness is gone. Maybe not gone, but diminished. But again, that's sat up there for the better part of 7 months. Snow and rain and wind and everything on it like crazy. So, and speaking of snow, old friend Mr. Snowpile is still kicking. Solid as ever. I'm gonna get a fire going. I left this wood here and it's bone dry still. Nice cedar, so let's split some of this up. Got the old council tool axe with me today. I like it. It's a nice mid-size. I sharpened it up real good. Watch out, Butte girl. Watch out, baby. Right in the frame there, girl. You gotta back up. Here. You want this? Go get it. These are too long, so I'm just, not too long, but they're longer than I want. Just cutting them down and split them down. Okay, there we go. It's Joe's first rodeo. Pretty decent curls with that axe, actually. Again, this is seasoned dry cedar, which is very light, and the axe is freshly sharpened, so it's not skills. Not just skills. And they're gone everywhere. As you can see, the ground is pretty wet. Right? So find some logs to put underneath before we get our fire going so that it has a better chance of actually going and not just getting snuffed out. Beauty the golden doodle. Hey? Just aloof as they come. Nice big round. I'm going to split that half just for the fun of splitting it. Yeah. I love that cedar, boy. Oh. So these are going to make some really, really good buffer pieces. And they'll turn into fuel after. Slick. That looks nice. As far as wood buffers from wetness go, you know. How many of those have you seen in your day, huh? I've got some stages of kindling and fuel here. I've got first stage that I'm going to put on after it's ignite. I got a handful of shavings. And my fuel's up there. I got this nice feather stick. Just going to go up like nobody's business. Put this underneath shavings. I got a brace back here, so I can brace. Oh, that cedar smells so nice. So very nice. I can brace the pieces so it doesn't smother the fire right off the hop. Nice pop, nice smell, nice warmth. You know, all the benefits of a cedar fire. She likes the fire. She must be a little chilled sitting next to it there. All soaking wet. You good girl? Anyway. Tripper's gone. Been gone for a few weeks, and I've put off making this. I already did one dead dog video, and I don't want to do another. We were traveling down south, and he didn't eat for a couple days, and we thought it was because we were traveling. We thought he was just out of sorts. You noticed, like, he was starting to look a little weak and lethargic and stuff. So took him to the vet, and his stomach twisted. And as soon as they told me his stomach twisted, I was super concerned because my mom's friend had a burn knees and that stomach twisted, and that was the end of it. And so we did the surgery. We prolonged our stay down there. We did the surgery, and a couple of days later, that was it. It didn't work. It reversed, and he's gone. I feel very bad. I feel very bad for everyone involved. I feel bad for my kids, for you guys, for my wife, for me. I feel bad for Beauty. That's why she's here with me. She's kind of become attached to me since then. She's been looking for him and stuff. And I did something that I don't know that I should have done, but I lied to my kids, and I told them that we gave him away. I couldn't bring myself to to tell them. Emerald just got done dealing with Scout, and Autumn is messed up right now with all these movies portraying death, and it's just like she has so many questions and she's so worried about it and everything right now that I think she'd just become obsessed about it if I told her. And I'm telling you this because, please, if anyone knows me in real life or knows my kids, please don't come up to us and say, oh, sorry about Trevor. Just don't even mention it, please. Because they're okay with thinking that he's gone running around with a bunch of other dogs somewhere. I just couldn't do it. And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's what I did. The guy had such a shitty life. He had such a bad break. You know what I mean? Like, right off the hop, coming to me at 9 weeks of age on a plane, scared beyond belief, bad breeding, which I didn't know about, broke both of his elbows, genetic bone disease. He was starting to limp on the back. After all that surgery, after all that money, after everything, right? Starting to limp on the back ones now. So scared of the vet because we had to keep going back so many times to get him therapy for it and stuff. And just had a rough go, man. I tried. Like, the only good things I think was doing that show with them, and like him and Autumn were like that. You know what I mean? I just. Things I've learned from that. Money doesn't fix anything. I was poor my whole life. I wanted a Dutch Shepherd for a real long time. I finally got a little bit of money. Finally was able to get a Dutch Shepherd. I did not do my research on where I got him from. I was super rushed to get him. So I got him from the first place that I could get him at that time. Again, I was probably hurting from Scout still. You know what I mean? Trying to fill that void. I'm not making excuses. This is my fault. The whole thing's my fault. I would never again order a dog online, like not seeing it first. I don't recommend a Dutch Shepherd for anyone who like isn't like working them all the time. And I paid for a high-end training for him that I did with him and that I sent him to go do. And again, money, it didn't matter, right? Like I didn't have any money with Scout, and we did it all together and everything was good. I had enough money with Tripper and spent. This is not a brag. I'm ashamed of this. Training, buying him, getting him fixed up so many very different times of surgeries and stuff. $25,000, $30,000 into this dog. No joke. And whatever, I don't care. The money's not the thing. I'm not. The point is that money doesn't fix things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone. I feel very bad. The whole thing is bad. The whole thing is bad. 3 years. Don't worry, you're not going to see Beauty in all the videos from now on. Like I said, she's been attached to me. She was looking for him and stuff, so. And she's a really good dog. I can't have a fluffy white dog, poodle, bouncing around in my videos and stuff. And I don't know about getting another dog for me. I can't think about that right now. It's just too much. I feel very responsible for all the bad things that happen with Tripper, so I just don't even deserve a dog right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry for crying. I'm sorry for not bringing him out as much as I should have. I'm sorry for being so hard on him. was rough, man. His whole life. Anyways, that's his story. I'm sorry. Emerald, if you watch this, I'm sorry too for lying to you. And I hope you understand why I did it. Beauty is Emerald's dog, and they've got a really good relationship. And she's a tough golden doodle. Good girl, go on over there. Good girl, you're fine. What do you think, Beauty? Hey, you good girl? So last video was very eventful. And there's a bunch of stuff I learned that I wanted to talk about. I have zero experience with whitewater. You've seen all my experience with whitewater. It's very, very, very minimal. And I actually have a course book, like I've said a couple times now, at the Madawaska Canoe Center this year coming up. So I am going to learn how to read the water better and how to paddle it better and everything like that. I also have a whitewater boat coming in. I'm getting a 15-foot Prospector in Expedition Kevlar from Swift. So Expedition Kevlar is their version of like Tough Stuff or whatever. So it's the tougher version, 15-foot Prospector. It's got the right rocker on it. It's got like, you know, like my Adirondack pack boat is very flat. It's a flat water boat, and this one's got rocker on both sides, more of a tumble home. So it's better for whitewater. A lot of people use Prospectors in that situation, and I'll be able to use it in flat water too and stuff. So it's a good boat. It's called the Combi, and there's 2 seats. They both come out, and I'll be able to use it with Emerald and stuff. And anyways, I don't have a lot of experience with whitewater, so normally I don't like attach anything to my boat. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking I was gonna run anything crazy. Like, so earlier in that day, if you guys watched the video, I ran a couple rapids, and some that were even more so rapidy than the one I bailed on, that I dunked in. But I just didn't want to get out of the boat. I was late in the night, and I was tired of portaging, and it was right there and everything I could have done. I didn't feel confident. That's the thing. I second-guessed myself a bunch of times. Whenever I do anything silly out in the woods, I usually feel pretty confident about it. You know what I mean? Like, I got this. This one I hummed and hawed for quite a while at that little eddy at the bend. And at the very last set, I was going to pull out and go portage, and I was like, don't be a wuss. You know what I mean? And I went. And the second I went, the water hit me on a 45-degree angle. So I think the waves were coming down here, and I hit it like this. I think I needed to hit it more straight, but I couldn't, because if I went more straight, I was going to get pulled into this thing. So I thought I could power through it and go like at a 45, and I couldn't. The water's so very strong. So it hit me on the back 45-degree angle on the back end of my canoe, like behind me on my right. And as soon as the water hit, it filled in the canoe, and it started tipping me this way, and I instinctively went this way. I think I dropped the paddle at that point, went this way, and tried to rock back over, which what should have done is stuck the paddle in and pry it off, I believe. I don't know, but I believe. Anyways, it was hard to think. I don't have any experience with it, so I dropped the paddle, and luckily the yoke and the backpack stayed in the canoe, which is insane, because if the backpack would have been lost, which I thought it was when I was in the water, things would have been a bit different story. I wouldn't have had my inReach, and my change of clothes would have been gone, and there was no cars that drove down that road, maybe one in the middle of the night, so it would have been bad. So, things that I'm going to change from now on whenever I'm going to do any kind of whitewater, right? So, in flat water still, I'm not concerned about it. But in whitewater, my backpack is going to get lashed to my boat. There's enough air in the backpack that it's going to float, and I know the canoe is going to float now too, because I have experience with it, with the little baffles in the front and back there with the air. So, I'm going to lash my... And tell me if this is horribly wrong, but I think this is correct. I'm going to lash my backpack into the back of the boat. I'm going to have a tether on my yoke, but not too long, because I don't want to get it wrapped around me if I dump and it's like a tether spinning in the water. So a tether on my yoke, a secondary paddle, which I've never been a fan of before, never thought I needed, but now I do in white water. If there's any kind of chance of white water on a trip, I will bring a secondary paddle. The problem with these small boats is that there's really not all that much room. You know what I mean? So when you get a secondary paddle in there and you lash in, you're losing a little bit of room. It's fine. It's just not necessary on flat water, and that's what I've mostly done. Anyways, another problem is with these pack boats, a single blade paddle really doesn't do the trick, and you're not going to bring a secondary double blade. So I will bring a secondary single blade, and that will at least be able to do me something on a river. It's fine. But this new boat I'm getting is not a pack boat, and I can paddle it with a single blade or double blade, and it's big enough to put a secondary blade in. So, secondary single blade lashed into the boat underneath the seats. My inReach on me. Oh, and my PFD was on me, which sometimes isn't in flat water, as you've seen, but in white water, I'm pretty a stickler about it, and I'm glad I did, because it would have been a different story again. I remember thinking at one point, like, oh, I'm glad my head came back up above water. Like, that's pretty bad. My feet were bouncing off the rocks on the bottom of the boulders, and I was tucking them up to try to not get them caught in and pinned, because you wouldn't be able to unpin yourself, right, like against the force of the water. So my inReach will be on me at all times in white water. My PFD will be on me at all times in white water. I will have my backpack lashed in, like I said. What else? Everything that is loose in the boat needs to be lashed in. I need to be prepared to dunk. A helmet wouldn't be a bad idea if it's any kind of serious white water. And that's the road I want to start taking. It just, you want to get down, the smoke's probably bothering you. Come here, good girl. That's the road I want to start taking with canoe tripping, is mixing in some white water and some flat water together, just to have a little bit more fun, to change things up. So anyways, I did learn lessons, you know what I mean? It wasn't just, I'm almost glad it happened, because I'm almost like lackadaisical and that kind of stuff, like, yeah, I'll be fine, you know what I mean? And it really was the worst case scenario, except for me being next to a road. If I wasn't next to a road, if I had to hike out like really far, it would have been really bad. But here's the thing. I fell in, I was borderline hypothermic in a blizzard, and I got changed and camped out the night, and everything was fine. I ate supper and I was warm. Again, a couple things could have been different. If I lost my backpack, different story. No PFD, different story. Not near a road, different story. So a good kick in the ass for me to get my stuff prepared better, and it was silly of me to not be prepared. But again, I was planning on portaging, and yeah, it's just the Joe way. So the Joe way needs to change, obviously. Got to come home to the family, right? I saw a comment saying, why didn't you have her just bring you a paddle the next morning? Because I was done. You know what I mean? And actually I ended up getting sick from it too, because of falling in and stuff, but not till the day after. But I was just done. Like, I will go back, and I want to go back. The fishing was crap. It was way too cold. I didn't get a bite, and the river was swollen. The secondary river that I wanted to go up was swollen and stuff, and I couldn't make it up, so I wanted to go back anyways. So there's no point in me just having her bring a paddle then, and then coming back. So I want to go do that trip in about a month anyways. And we are at the Creekside camp. Just gonna hang out here for the day. Beauty's chilling. Maybe we'll go try our hand at some fishing. It's life, man. Things go good for a while, and catch a couple shitty breaks. I take full responsibility for everything with Tripper, I really do. I feel very bad about it. It's one of the worst decisions in my life was getting him. It's not that I didn't love him, it's just, it shouldn't have been. You guys saw him, right? And then for everything that happened, his arms, his stomach, just his neuroticness. Poor guy. Rip Trip. Anyways, like I said, I don't know that I'm not in a hurry to get a dog, so if the right one comes along, And yeah, we got the life for it, you know what I mean? We got the place for it. I'd love to have a companion. I'm not overly going out of my way to seek it out. Well, guys, that's enough of that. All right? All right. It's a nice day. We're out in the woods. Oh, beauty. Got a labradoodle. Who would have thought? I wonder what Scout's thinking.